Let me say that I grew up or was born in a town called Wygen, West Virginia, in Clay County, way up a holler, where labor wars were constant. We moved to Clarksburg, West Virginia, big city. And around the dinner table, there was a discussion about those boys that were fighting the good fight. The Lewis boys. John L. Lewis and Joe Lewis, the boxer. The Lewis boys. Fighters. That's part of the way I grew up. Understanding struggle as a very, very tiny minority of people of color in West Virginia. I've had a very fruitful relationship with 1199. Let me tell you some of the ways. The union has a special place for me. I received a special membership and induction into the Los Angeles 1199 or SEIU. My sabbatical for an entire year was with SEIU. Now I'm going to suggest to my scholar colleagues here, that is an experience. If you have not had a sabbatical with labor, you have missed something. I work all over the country and I learn. A sabbatical with labor. And I'm going to tell you, they treat you well. Labor treated you well. I was a consultant organizer with Jackson Memorial Hospital. And for those of you who remember that convention in Las Vegas, Jackson Memorial Hospital was the campaign that put us over 1 million members. For saving my job at Marshall University. 1199 from Kentucky, Ohio, and West Virginia got tired of the crap and organized about 125 people, and they marched on Marshall University's journalism department and changed that department forever and forced the president and the board of regents to accept a social work program at Marshall University. For 1199, the founders and organizers are recorded in Marshall University's history, official history. They are the founders of SDS, Students for Democratic Society, which was predominantly a white group of extremely progressive organizers. They were preceded by a group called CIP, Civic Interest Progressives, in Huntington. That was a group of predominantly black, but with white students. That group was an affiliate of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee of Stokely Carmichael and H. Rhett Brown. All of these are people who have identified with 1199. With that kind of foundation, this is who you are. That's part of the history that maybe you did not know. Stewart and Woodruff Those were some of my guys. They lived at my house and I lived at their house. And we drank lots of beer. Lots of beer. So we helped to establish a foundation for democracy and to fight injustice. And all of us have done that for all of our lives. Now, Harry referred to the points of intersection of labor and 1199. And I'd just like to share with you for a moment some of the leadership issues that we need to take into consideration. And they've been demonstrated by Martin Luther King Jr. through words and deeds. But there is a book by Donald T. Phillips called Martin Luther King Jr. on leadership, and it's about your organization and every other organization. All of his speeches and his essays have been examined, and various concepts have been distilled from these documents. On leadership, if keeping the peace means keeping your mouth shut in the midst of injustice and evil, you should not keep the peace. Never allow the theory that it is better to remain quiet and help the cause to become a rationalization for doing nothing. Give credit where credit is due. When faced with extreme situations, your remedy must be extreme. This is from Martin Luther King. Never assume that anyone understands. It is your job to keep people informed and aware. A good idea will spread quickly. Creative power can pull down mountains of evil and level hilltops of injustice. Your role as a leader is to communicate to two worlds, ours and theirs. 1199 is set apart from all other unions and a special place in my heart. And frankly, without a job, I must say, in my pocketbook. And I thank you.